Hello, everyone. It's Michelle Angelique, Truth and Integrity Warrior, with another episode of The Rise of a Species Mankind. Today is March 21st, 2021. Today's episode won't have a title because I haven't been able to form one. This is just going to be a free flow from an experience I just went through that would be gut wrenching, soul wrenching in other times of my life. But because I have found strength and integrity within myself, care and compassion for my mistakes, care and compassion and true love and forgiveness for myself, I've been able to ride through this experience I'm going to share with you today. It's very fresh, so fresh that it happened today, and today I'm going to express it. And it's one of the hardest topics, and it's about love. And we're all afraid of love in some way or another, because when we have love crushed from us, taken from us, betrayal, deceit, untrust, lack of trustworthiness, those things take a toll on an individual or break an individual. And so a lot of you know that I recently posted on the 18th. I stated the 18th of this month of March 2021 that I had recently, or someone had recently gained my heart. I fell head over heels for an individual, which I fell in love with his soul. I fell in love with this man, and the unfortunate part is he lacked integrity. And because of that lack of integrity, I had to let him go. As much as it hurt me inside, I was able to do it, let him go without feeling I'm losing a piece of myself. Because that is what happens. We lose, or we feel, we sense that we lose a piece of ourselves when somebody hurts us, when we love them. And so that makes us afraid to love wholeheartedly, to love with all your might, to love with trust. And we hold back and we reserve ourselves. And then when somebody else comes along, unfortunately, that person doesn't get the whole of us because we lack that integrity within ourselves, because we're afraid to give, we're afraid to fail, we're afraid to be judged and ridiculed. But like I said in all of these podcasts that I'm putting up in a series, we must grow within so that we do not lose a piece of ourselves, so that we become whole. We have that care for ourselves, so when somebody else doesn't have that care to give back, we're still okay. We're still going to be all right. And we can see why that other person couldn't make the grade, couldn't keep their words to match their actions. They couldn't because they haven't gone through their own fire. They haven't walked their own walk. They haven't seen themselves. I'm going to give an expression of what happened, what this person actually did for me. So we usually see when somebody breaks our heart, that's what we call it, breaking our heart. But if our heart is whole and our heart is strong, it cannot be broken. It could be hurt. It could be punched, it could be bruised, but it will not be broken. It will not be shattered. And the reason it is not is because we become whole within ourselves and we don't put ourselves into others. And that's what we do when we fall in love. We fall in love because this other person fills a void that we have. But when we feel that void for ourselves, within ourselves, and we do that through compassion and forgiveness for the mistakes that we make. Because when this other individual comes in and they make these mistakes or some type of mistake, we can understand them. And why do we understand them? Because we had to find that understanding for ourselves. through the shit that we've done, no matter to what degree it is. We have to find that compassion and feel it within first so that we have it to give on the outside of us. And so this is why I can talk about it today, and it feels good to be able to share it. I don't feel foolish. I don't feel like a fool. I don't feel that I can be ridiculed no matter what is said, because I learned some lessons in that love that I expressed and was expressed to me, no matter how false it may have been for the other person. I felt love, and it felt fantastic. I haven't felt love in years. And so I cherish that, and I appreciate that, even if it was for a moment. What this person brought to me in my experience to help me grow, because through all experiences, we must grow. No matter how much they may break us down, we must grow up and out of them, because there's something there to be learned, to be taught. And we teach one another, and we must find that growth within that pain. And in this experience, this person had told me in our month of love, let's call it that, the month of love, said some words to me that made me feel something I had not felt before, that I didn't know how to come back with words because I was caught in my emotion. I was reflecting and recognizing what I was going through when he said, "I will never leave you. I will always be there for you." Now, mind you, this man is stronger than me. He's strong in will. He's strong in body. He's strong in many characteristics that I'm looking for, because I have those qualities, and it's hard to find a man with the same qualities. Unfortunately, integrity, honesty wasn't one of them. This man, when he said these words to me, I felt inside as if I was going to fall to my knees and start to weep. And I was shocked by that feeling I had inside. Mind you, I've never touched this person. It was just all based on communication, all communication-based relationship, which I've never done before. Usually it's always just physical. You fall in love with that physical, and then you get the results. You get to know the person, and then you find out you actually don't really like that person. So this was reverse. I got to know someone without touching them. And me being a Scorpio, that's unheard of for me anyways. That's unheard of. But I liked the fact that I didn't mix sex with the mind of my emotion to this person. That's why I say I fell in love with this person's soul through their journey, through their experience. And I still feel love for that person. But that person cannot be in my life while he repairs and fixes himself, if he chooses to. Because that is not my task, my journey, my responsibility. I'm on a train that moves forward, and it needs someone moving at the same speed or faster so that I can catch up to something that is in my direction. Let's put it that way. So going back, this person, when he said those words to me, and I was going through this experience of wanting to cry, I was on the verge of crying, I was reflecting, and I recognized that I didn't feel safe, that I didn't feel protected before those words, that I didn't feel peace, if those are the right words. Safe, protected, or a sense of peace. I recognized that I have been on guard since I was a child. I have been fighting, and I have defended, and I have protected, and I've been on guard, and I've been on defense the whole time. Even though you've heard in other episodes of when I speak about how I stopped fighting in my language, well, I did. And that's one layer of a very big onion we got to unravel within ourselves to get to the core, the center of who we are. But this man brought these words that no one's ever shared with me. No one's ever expressed that to me. So I never had the opportunity to feel that I had something inside of me that needed attention. And when I felt that, I cried that night by myself. And I let go of that worry, of that not feeling safe, of when I was a child and having a molester around the corner at all times. Can't close your eyes because you can't go to sleep because you gotta sleep with one eye open. And I say this because this is how deep and profound we have to unravel. We have to pull out what we got trapped that we can't see inside. Because we have been so pushed away from our feelings, we don't know what to do with what we're feeling. But it's to be looked at. Our feelings are our navigation system. It's how we direct, it's how we think, it's how we create, manifest, and make happen in reality. So if we have information that's deep within us and we don't know that is there, and somebody brings that moment of opportunity for us to reflect and look, then I have gained in that month of love that I had, that beautiful feeling that this man brought me. He just couldn't keep it. He didn't have integrity within himself because he had other women at the same time. And for me, choose to say no. I could be the only woman in a man's life. So I express this because we learn to hate, and we learn to point the finger, and we learn to blame, and it's because of his fault, because of what he did and what he didn't do right and what he should have done. No. It's where do I stand? What do I need to work on? Why am I not strong enough to roll with those punches? Why can't I stand firm when somebody can't make the grade? When somebody can't step up to the plate? When someone can't hold their own and stand side by side with me or with you? Because this is what this is about. When we grow from the inside out, we do this so with what we feel. We have to look and put on the table, what do I feel and why do I feel it and where is it coming from, and I must correct this feeling so that in the correction in the feeling, and I'll express how I corrected this feeling of not feeling safe, is I had to look at all my past. I didn't have to look at it. It just fucking came like a picture in my, like a movie reel in my mind. Why? Because I had the feeling and I asked the question, why? Where is this coming from? Why did I not know that I don't feel safe? It's because I've had to be on guard, since I can remember. And a lot of you are on guard and say you can't love. You can't give wholeheartedly to the next person that comes into your life. Give all of you, as I will give all of me, all the love that I have to express will not be lost on the next person, because I have that love inside, that care that I learned to gain for myself through learning to have compassion for my mistakes, for what I've not done right in my life, and finding that forgiveness for myself gave me that care and fucking compassion. Because I was a little kid, just like you were a little kid, just like we were all little kids who were taught, molded, hurt, broken, abused, ridiculed, to mold us to make the mistakes that we're not aware of. But when we become aware, we must make that correction and we must change. Because it is never too late. It is never too late to change, no matter how old we may think we are. It is only time and it is experience. And in this experience, we must grow, so that we do not become the domino effect to hurt others. Because that's what we do. Somebody else comes into our life, and guess what? They got to pay the price for what we couldn't get right in the last relationship. Well, we lacked the relationship within ourselves. And that lack of relationship within ourselves is why we can't give wholeheartedly to the next person who deserves it. So I will love wholeheartedly to the next person. I will give all that I have to give and more. And if there is a contradiction in that individual, then I will also have to let them go. But one day, that individual will be the right individual. Will I stop loving? No. Will I keep enjoying? Yes. It hurts. I don't want to say or make this like it doesn't hurt. It hurts. But it don't hurt so bad because I didn't lose a part of me in that individual letting him go. I didn't lose a piece of myself because myself is here. And so if I can share anything with anyone out of this experience that I've had, fresh today, fresh today. The lady who kindly texted me and let me know that this man is not alone. I had to sit with that, contemplate. But I had to come on here and share this, because if I do not show how it's done, then how do we do? How are we going to do it? Because most of us, and who I was before, lost within myself, lost to myself, I would have been embarrassed, ashamed that I posted that I'm in love with someone. And I don't take it back. I don't take it back because those are true feelings. That is how I feel. Like I said, just didn't make the grade. And that's too bad for a beautiful future that could have been. And that future still will be, just not with that individual. So don't lose all hope and put all your eggs in a basket to one individual. Get all your eggs in your own basket. Know who you are. Know where you stand. Create a relationship within yourself for yourself. So when somebody comes into your life, see what they gave. See what they had to offer. See the pain they brought in, or the expressions they helped you get out to see and reflect. I would not have known what the type of fighter I am in my mind, meaning my soul. I would not know the strength of my soul. When I say my mind, I mean my soul, unless I was beaten in the ring. Unless I went through the shit that I did with my sad coaches. My last coach was fantastic, don't get me wrong. My coaches before my last one. I bring this up because I want to express examples. If I didn't go and fight #1 world contenders right off the bat, if I didn't go and fight Golden Glove champions my first 2 fights in amateur, if I didn't fight the best of the best at the beginning of my career without knowing a damn thing, I would know who I am. I would not know the strength that I have in my mind to keep going forward and to push. And so with this experience that I just had today, it's not how hard we can get hit. I know you've heard this before, but it's how can we move forward? It's can we get up? Can we move forward? And how well do we do it? How well do we brush off and say, that was a rough one, but I'm all right. I'm going to be all right. And like I said, love wholeheartedly. Give what you have, because you will not be lost, because you are always right here. Never stop loving, because that is the most powerful force we have as a species. Never forget it.